everyone is going to be dealing with the very cold air out there. Look at these temperatures. Right now, we've got temperatures that are below freezing in many spots, and some folks already dropping into the 20s, but that's just the beginnings, folks. In fact, let's show you the official forecast lows for tonight. How about 18 in Logan? How about 30 in St. George? Now, you know if St. George is going to be below freezing, everyone else is definitely going to be below freezing. In fact, we're talking most areas in the teens and low 20s by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. Look at that, even Kanab at 21 degrees. Look at that, 8 in Evanston, 7 in Ely. That's some cold air, folks, that is settling in across the region. Now, right now, it's fairly quiet on the radar here across the Beehive State. A little bit of activity showing up here north of Cedar City on the radar. Not sure that's reaching the ground, but we're going to be on guard tonight for the potential of some lake-enhanced precipitation or some lake-effect snow potential, specifically from Ogden down through Layton and Bountiful over towards North Salt Lake and maybe even as far south as West Jordan and over towards the Wasatch back around Park City. So basically, Salt Lake Valley, we're talking the northern Wasatch Front and the Cottonwoods. This could lead to some reduced visibility tomorrow morning just in time for that early morning commute and maybe some slick roadways if we get those bands to set up just right. All right, let's take a look at our Futurecast model here. And this is kind of trying to forecast what we're going to be expecting as we go throughout the night. And again, you can see here we've got a little bit of activity as that radar was showing. Again, you could see a snowflake or two down south, but I'm not expecting much from that as that weak disturbance moves on by. Maybe a little lake effect off of Utah Lake here going on around just after midnight near Utah County. But then here we go towards tomorrow morning, 5 a.m., starting along the I-15 corridor and drifting across the lake there, Ogden down towards Riverton and Lehigh. Yeah, we could be waking up to some lake effect snow. Now, this specific band of snow that's going to develop along the lake and push east is going to determine who sees this. This typically is about 30 to 50 miles wide. So it's kind of a narrow area. This is trying to show a bigger area, but you get the idea. Some moisture will come off the lake, and there's that chance of some lake effect snow tomorrow morning along the Salt Lake Valley, the Wasatch Front, and heading over into the Wasatch back through about 9, 10 o'clock. But notice by the time we get towards noon, this kicks out of here, and we are quiet across the rest of the Beehive State. So it's just a little time frame, a short, quick hit of potential snow, but it could come just in time for the early morning commute. So again, right along the valley floors and right along the I-15 corridor, dusting up to an inch probably at most. But as you get over towards the benches here, that's where we can see anywhere from 1 to 2 inches. And as you get over towards Morgan, back towards Park City and over towards Alta, that's where I'm expecting the potential for the highest amounts. Just in time for the morning commute, 2 to 5 inches could lead to some slick travel and some slowdowns there. So keep that in mind. That's why we've got some winter weather alerts in effect here from the I-15 corridor around the Ogden Valley, stretching back down towards Davis and Weber County, and then over towards the Wasatch back there, and that goes all the way through midday tomorrow, basically. So we've got this cold system moving by, the winds coming down over the lake, creating the lake effect in the morning, but then that system moves away. So by the afternoon, we're drying out. High pressure builds in for the middle and latter half of the week. We warm things up, and it's actually pretty nice, and then we'll be waiting for the weekend where we could have a colder and unsettled system moving back into the area. St. George, sunshine 53. Then we're in the 60s for the rest of the week before some unsettled weather arrives for the weekend. The Wasatch Front, watch out for that morning lake effect snow potential. 38, that's it for tomorrow. And then look at that. We stay dry until the weekend where we could have some more unsettled weather moving back into the area. We're back with more coming up right after this.